You're muted, just so you know.
I was sending a text anyway.
Oh, no, you're right.
I'm just a little bit crazy today.
I feel ya.
Is your hair darker or is it just the camera?
It's darker. I got it colored darker.
I like it.
Thanks.
You like it?
I love it. Yeah, it's been a while since my hair's been this dark, but I like it.
Yeah. For me, it's like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
It's been a little, like yesterday morning from 7:30 to noonish, I was negotiating 2 contracts with 8 people while I'm curling my hair, getting ready for open house. And so today, I'm like, my compliance kicked back my thing. It's like, okay, I know I don't have the earnest money deposit, but that building was 1988. Why do I need a lead paint? Am I missing something? Like I didn't need an extra thing to do. Is it just you and me?
Alexandra's on here as well.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Oh, I don't have, because I have it on speaker mode from last week.
We'll give it another minute and see if anybody else to hop on. There's Alex. Oh my.
Weird.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. It's 3 o'clock. All right, well, welcome everyone. I think this is actually my first one of the year because just a few things happened with the last ones that I wasn't able to attend them. So I'm happy you're all here. So today, if I don't break stuff, I'm going to go over kind of the front to back of doing farming a neighborhood. I want to kind of give you some recommendations of where to start, what things you need to look into, and then some tools that you already have that you can use to really engage in that neighborhood and make it hopefully a good experience for you. You can get some new clients and get some listings out of it, which comes listings, comes buyers. So the first thing is you need to pick a neighborhood. We recommend to do something close to where you live or in the neighborhood that you live in, just because you're going to know the area. You're going to be well versed in that area, and then you are in turn going to likely be able to connect with people more. They're going to see you out in that area. That just trust is going to build a little quicker. I'm not saying you can't build farm area neighborhoods that aren't in your area, or if you're somebody who, like me, who lives out in the middle of nowhere, there's technically not a neighborhood. So you would pick someone relatively close or in an area that you're very familiar with. So once you have your neighborhood, you want to do your research. So you need to know the ins and outs of your neighborhood. So just a few things, I'm going to share my screen, just a few things that you will want to utilize. The MLS is one thing, and then also the Census Bureau information that will help you kind of get average age, stuff like that. But within the MLS, if you go to quick search, if you're looking for the last month, say, you can click on the first status You can change these if you want coming soon. If you want to see what's closed in the last month, you just choose closed. And then sold date, we'll change this to January 1st of 2022 till now, like, you know, if you're saying what's happened for the year. And then the subdivision, complex, or community, that's where you're going to type in your preferred area, so that neighborhood. So then I clicked enter on my keyboard and it looks like nothing's happened, but if you come over here to list, it will, can everybody hear me okay? Doesn't look like Jill can't. Jill, is your volume turned down maybe? Let's see if that worked. Good now? Are we good? Anyone?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see if Jill. You can unmute Jill if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fix it. Okay, good. So if you choose list, it will give you a list. Now this neighborhood is fairly new, so it doesn't have a ton. So say I did the year from like last year to this year, it's going to be a little bit, you can see the results up here, but so you can do list, you can see it this way, or if you want something you can physically, tangibly hold, or see like the averages and stuff like that, that's really going to help you is the CMA. And then do either one line CMA or do download PDF. The PDF is going to give you that list, and at the bottom they'll have all the averages for you. I'll pull it up here for you. Ooh, that's hard to see. We're going to do the one line CMA on here just so you guys can see it better. But at least that way you can download, and this report you can email or print yourself. So you can print it right from here. But down here at the bottom, so from January 1st of 2021 till today, there have been 27 properties that were sold in Evans Farm, and you can verify the subdivision right here. They have the minimum and maximum ranges, average, and then median. So this is days on market. So the average day on market for these Evans Farm is 90.04. That includes the land as well, because this is a fairly new development. So that is a little bit skewed. If you would want to go even a further step, you'll probably filter out the ones that you can tell are not built houses, just to make that a little bit more accurate. But if you come over here, you're looking at sale price. So the average sale price is $731,803. So it just gives you all of the averages of that specific neighborhood, and you can really pinpoint these. You can save these in your settings in your quick searches. That way you can easily find this information. So go to save, and then you can save this search. Just like you would for your clients, you can do that in here. That way you can go back, you would just have to update the dates. So that's where it's going to help you figure out all that information you need to know, and really get you knowledgeable on the area. So some other things that is recommended to know is like the average income of that area, the average age of the people who are living there, employers that are close to that area. All of that information is just going to help you better target those types of people. If it's, you know, say if this is going to be where the new, what's the new company that they're going to build? Yeah, that one. So obviously that's Licking County, but as far as knowing what big corporations or businesses are in that area is going to help you target that neighborhood. Whether that's getting that information to that business or using SEO descriptions for a listing website, or if it's, you know, using the interest on Facebook You know, obviously, if it's a computer company, you could put some type in computer, which I'll show you here in a little bit. There's different ways that you can use that information to then let the background of technology work for you. So just having all that, home styles, popular home styles. If this neighborhood is full of farmhouse style, we all know the white and the black fixer-upper Joanna Gaines signature looks. If that's a really popular style with that builder in that neighborhood, and you want to be targeting towards those type of people. That goes back again with the SEO descriptions, the interest, stuff like that with the social media posts. And then also look at the upcoming construction. Is that builder buying more land in that area? Do they have a lot of land left? If somebody's looking for a more established neighborhood, if they're looking for more of an up and coming neighborhood, all of that just goes back into that targeting fee. So then also when you are starting to market this, researching goes into the research is figure out, again, with the businesses, if there's a lot of dog parks in the area, if it's close to, you know, a bunch of like craft brewery places, you can use that information to target people to those neighborhoods, or reach out to them. If you're giving them helpful information that is good to them, then they might, you know, they're more likely to connect with you that way. So once you have your neighborhood, you've done your research, now you're going to put a plan in place. So in Command, you have multiple avenues. You can use this information once you know to target anyone in your database that would be good for this neighborhood if they're not living there yet, but might be on the fence about moving somewhere. You can do that by using monthly neighborhood nurture smart plans. So something that if you didn't know, you can send them monthly information about a neighborhood in Command. And you can also add neighborhoods that they do not live in. That way, if you're trying to coax them into going into a different neighborhood, or they're looking at a different neighborhood. So I'm in contacts, I typed in my name. So based on the address I put in there, which this is not my address, but I needed one that had a neighborhood, you can add additional neighborhoods up here. So you see my primary is Asheville Commons. My other ones are Brookside Estates. So I think Evans Farm is too new to show up in here. Yeah, it is. But so just so you know that this is run from the website Nextdoor. So that is where the population of these neighborhoods come from. But we'll say it's Farm Acres for the time being. That's just another one that's added. So what happens is that when you put them on a monthly neighborhood nurture, it will send them information about it. And I actually have an email I'll show you. So this is what it looks like. So you know, for reference, it will go out on.
I'm sorry, how do we get their contact information to send them something?
So if this is more for your people you have in your database, trying to push them to a specific neighborhood or something that would be of their interest. You would have to have their contact information in order to send them this, but there are other targeting ways I'll show you for neighborhoods that you don't have information for yet. So this is what a monthly neighborhood nurture email looks like. It'll pull your information, the logo you have in your marketing profile of Command. My brain's not working. It'll show you their neighborhood trends, average days on market, stuff like that, active homes, and then they can click explore neighborhood, and that will take them one step further into that information that they can actually look at those listings. Up here in the top right corner, we'll switch to that neighborhood stats so they can see all this information as well. So there's the same information that was in that email, but gives them a little bit more, gives them school district information, the student ratio to student to teacher ratio, what grades, and then they're kind of ranked, I think is what that is. And then they show the private schools as well. which I don't know how many places will do that. But then it also goes down like highlights of the area, restaurant, they can filter by groceries, just so they know, you can really get a good idea of what is there. And then as you scroll down, it'll give them like nearby neighborhood information. So that gives them a chance to ponder into other areas. But if you notice up here, it will allow multiple. So all of that information is there for them. This again would be to target towards people who you have their contact information for, that you're trying to push to a specific neighborhood. Now, as far as putting that plan in place for that neighborhood that you don't have a contact information for, obviously door knocking is always an option. Something like the pop by party that we were doing for the market center at Capital Partners, that would be a good leverage tool. Just to pop by, meet them, give them a little snack or something cutesy that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. If that is not an option for you, in campaigns is where all the other major things are. The first one being direct mail. This is going to give you the most bang for your buck, and you don't have to do any research on finding anything. So I'm going to create a campaign. So what this does is you can send postcards to a specific neighborhood, and you don't have to have the addresses, phone numbers, emails, names, nothing. It's going to do all that for you. So I'm just going to put it in here. What is your goal? This is internal, so it doesn't make a difference. So it's attract listings, create campaign. And you can add in all your information. And I'm going to try to do this quickly. Just not to, as you can see where I'm typing, it'll populate over here on the right. I don't know if I have a photo in here. We'll see if we can. See if that, oh, perfect. Photo, information, your information should populate. And I just grabbed a random photo, so you have to bear with me on that. It's not going to be realistic. So there's two things to note on here. You can either use the template, or you can switch to upload design and completely design your own. So if you want to, the template is more to promote a listing in the area. So if you have a listing, you want to promote it, great. But if you want to upload a design, you can design one, a postcard, a neighborhood nurture postcard in Designs, and then upload it in here. And that way that information is going out to them. For the sake of this, I'm just going to pump it through just to show you the targeting piece of it. So we'll say, let me find in this Asheville Commons. I'm going to pull up this neighborhood because I know, again, this pulls from the Nextdoor website as well. So it will have to be a website, or I'm sorry, a neighborhood that that is in here. Okay, so that's the address I'm pulling from. Then under budget, you choose how many postcards you want and the postage. So for 200 4x6 postcards, you're only paying $128 before tax. And if you think about it, postage is already astronomical, is 53 cents a piece. So you're essentially paying 11 cents for them to print the postcard, and then they're going to mail it for you. So once you have everything configured here, it's going to show you the front, it's going to show you the back, all of that fun stuff's right here. You can add QR codes to these if you want. And then you just have to assign it to either a landing page or one of your pages of your KW website. So that is an option for you, just so you're aware. Then you're going to go to configure targeting. this is what I really want to show you and focus on, is that how it will pull up the map and let you just really hone in on the area that you want. So not only, let me scroll out here so you can see it all. Not only is it going to pull those houses for you, and if you hover over them, you can see the houses and you can choose to remove them if you want to, but you can really hone in if you want to target people with so many bedrooms or so much square footage, anything like that, you have that opportunity. And you can really, and then you can send a copy to yourself so you see what it looks like, which I always recommend. But if you decide that this is not big enough, I want to add it to 1,000, then it's going to show those are all the homes that it's going to go to. And it's pulling it within that neighborhood or within that address area. So, and then you also have the option to draw or kind of polygon based on that. So if you don't like the circle layout, you can change those options. But this gives you that freedom to target an area without having to have all of that information. So then once you got everything, you're going to hit next. It's going to let you preview everything, and then you're going to make your payment in order. So it usually goes into the mail within 2 business days. So if you order them today, by Wednesday, they're going to be in the mail. And then your client or your neighborhood will get them within 4 to 6 days. So just, it depends on, you know, the lovely mail. So this is a great way, a cheap way to get in there. Aside from door knocking, as always, that can be fairly cheap or free. There's door hanger templates and designs that you can utilize. I'm going to take you there just because there's so much. I want you to see this. So I'm in designs. I'm going to choose print. And then I'm going to slowly wait for it to load. I'm trying to think of where. Oh yeah, so neighborhood snaps. So it's under listing and buyers, either or. Let's see. So there's flyers. These are 8 by 10 flyers, which you could again clip on the doors with your business card or just put your information right on. There are door hangers, and then there are standard postcards. So again, if you want to use one of these for your postcard template instead of whatever is there, that's 110% fine. I want to see if these are any difference. Okay, so the verbiage is a little bit different, but either or, whichever you prefer. The door hangers are pretty simple. Flyers, we'll pick a flyer just so we can get more info on it. Obviously, you would want to update this information to make sure it is accurate. So we're going to click on this little neighborhood snapshot. Where you find the neighborhood information and designs is under KWLS. It's the little house icon over here on the left. And then I'm going to switch this to snapshots. And then you can either search by neighborhood or postal code, but for this sake, we're going to do neighborhood. What was the name? Asheville Commons. Asheville Commons. Oh, there it is. So Columbus, make sure you look at the city and state because it will pull different. So if you click on the original picture first, then come in here and click this replace image, it will automatically reformat it exactly how it was on the page. You can just click on it and it will add, but you see how big it is, then you have to resize it and move it around. It's easier just to click on it, come over here and click replace image. That way you don't have to worry about sizing or anything like that. And then you can just update the name. Asheville. What did that say before? I think it just said Barton Hills. Hey, Asheville, your market is on the move. Put some update information, your information. This picture is in here. If you want to change that photo, you can come up here to images. And then do stock, I believe, or maybe, yeah, do workplace. So then there's like neighborhood ones that you can choose, or there are like lifestyles, home activities, house exteriors. There's different things you can use, but make it to something you look like you would find in that neighborhood. That's what I feel makes the most sense. Even if it's something like a neighborhood picture would probably not be bad. But again, you click that replace image and it's right there. But this is something quick and easy, again, fairly cheap, that you could take with you to go door knocking. You just create this template. You can order prints from Command if you would like to. It will take longer to get to you just because they have to ship to you. It won't ship to the neighborhood. It will come to you. Or you can download this for PDF for printing and have it printed somewhere like FedEx or Staples or at your market center. You can buy better cardstock if you want, or you can just print it on a piece of paper and put them in envelopes. It's really up to you and what your budget will allow, or what you want it to look like. But those are all quick and easy tools that are in there for you. And then one last thing I wanted to show you for a good targeting piece is the Facebook ads. Again, it's fairly cheap. You control how much you are spending on it. I'm actually going to switch accounts real quick for this, just because I want to show you what it can generate. So this is for our productivity coaching, but same thing. And I want to show you the details of it. Really putting those interests in there is what's going to really help you target people that would be interested in that neighborhood. And just making sure that when you generate leads from these smart plan or from these ads, that you have a good smart plan in place to reach out to them. So I'm going to go into paid ads. So I'm in campaigns, paid ads, and these are all for listings. However, you can gear these towards just people. You put your headshot in there and say looking to buy in Evans Farms or looking to buy in Asheville Commons, whatever neighborhood, and really sell yourself. So you don't have to have a listing in a specific neighborhood in order to market yourself to that neighborhood or for that neighborhood. Just make sure you're not using anybody's listings or listing photos or anything like that, because that can get you in trouble. If you are using a listing, make sure you get permission from that agent, the listing agent first, or make sure you're not violating any rights to specific photos. Any stock photos in Command are perfectly fine. Those are legal. Any of your past photos are legal, just because you own the rights to those. But do not use any listings that are not yours. Do not use any listing photos of any listings in the area that are not yours, even if they are past photos. So you can make a little map like this or find the Evans Farm logo or whatever, and really this is very similar to what you could. This is a specific listing that is owned by an agent at Capital Partners that I do have permission to use, but I would never use this without that permission first. But you could use something along this line. Obviously, it would not be highlighting this specific land plot, but you could get a map of that farm or that neighborhood and put something like this on there. And then my biggest thing I want to show you is not only the leads, the Facebook settings. So you do have to have a business Facebook account in order to do this. But again, you would create the campaign, you would choose Facebook ad, just to clarify how we got here. And then you would come down here under target a custom audience. You can choose the radius in which, how far out do you want this to go? I do 30 miles. I feel like a half an hour is not an unrealistic place to look, just because people commute. I'd rather cover more of a radius and potentially generate leads. You never know who's looking for what. So I feel like 30 is not too far. You can go further if you want, but I just choose 30. But over here, the expert targeting, this is what I like to really hone in on. If you've noticed, there is a ton of different interests in here. And this is where you use those tools of what's in that area to really hone in on the targeted audience you're looking for these homes, and to generate new leads. So I did cash, connected investors, cottage, if it's the home style, if that's a common home style, Craigslist, land, estate agent, because a lot of these developments have land just because they're building, land and homes. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff, and they're very generic interests. I'm not saying that there's like yellow houses on here. It's not that. Ohio State is not in here, but there is a bajillion different options to choose from. So definitely hone into these, because that's really going to help. Anything that they have added as an interest on Facebook, that's what's going to help target them. So if they have an interest in home repair or real estate or landscape or home construction and stuff like that, single family detached homes, if that is within their searches or within their interests on Facebook, those are the people you're going to capture. So that's why that is important. You'll choose that. And what I do when I do these is I just duplicate the campaign and then customize it. So you do have to go through each step and make sure you update it to the proper, Facebook ad or whatever you're targeting. But that way you don't have to re-add all of these. This is the only reason why I duplicate them, just because I may take a few out if it's not related to that. I mean, it can't really hurt anything if you have things in there that's not necessarily, but if you're really trying to target and you're really trying to make that connection, you want those. So if you know this neighborhood is right by dog parks, people are going to, have interest in dogs. So if you go to add interest, oops, it's just going too slow. Come on, there it goes. Then just type in the word dog and see what comes up. Hopefully something, yeah. So like dog training, add that. If there's, trees, a lot of parks, type in the word park, see what pops up. Nothing for that. But stuff like that, just different, agriculture, if they want something backed up to a farm or, oops. Just different things that you can really go in there. If it's got good architecture, if it's, something that's a little bit newer, or I mean, anything, if it's close to, say JP Morgan Chase headquarters or something like that, it can go as far as all of that. I mean, you can really get really outside the box with those, with the interest, just to gain more, people that are targeted to what you want. And then you run these ads as you generate those leads, and then you do the lead settings. You first go set up a smart plan. You have to set up a smart plan first, and then you have to create the tag. But when you do this, you create this ad, you generate the lead, they click on the ad, they fill out their name, their phone number, their email. Not only does it go into your contacts in Command, it will also be, that contact will be tagged, automatically tagged as that tag, and then it will be automatically added to a specific smart plan that you choose. So I'm going to run in here and see what this lead follow-up is. I'm going to say no, because I don't want to duplicate these. Oh, goodness. Okay, fine, yes. But there is a library in here that has a ton of smart plans that you can search for and find, choose the one you like the best. What does this one do? Hey, I'm a real estate expert with Keller Williams Capital Partners. I noticed you were looking at a couple of properties and just wanted to ask you a couple questions before we go see. Does that sound good? That might be a little too pushy for, in my opinion, for these leads. I will be honest, most of these Facebook leads and stuff like that, they're going to be cold leads. That means that most of them, I would say a good 90% of them, are not looking to buy or sell right now. Not saying it's not possible. These are like your long-term nurture people. Oh, look at that. Long-term nurture. Look at that right there. But go into this library, look at these smart plans, long-term nurture. If you want to look at the steps, you view steps, and then hover over the tasks, and it'll tell you kind of what your options are. For those, if you like this smart plan, you add it, you can edit it, you can tweak it, you can add more, you can take away. But then let's just search for neighborhood and see what happens. So you have a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So if you want to send it to them twice a week instead of once a month, yes, Jill, you will get a notification if somebody fills out the lead generation form. It will be on the mobile app as well. So make sure you have it downloaded, KW Command, the red one. Hold on, make sure you can see this. The red one right there. So you will get a notification. If you turn on notifications, I almost dropped my phone. On your phone, you will get them in Command as well on both. So it's essentially the same thing, but that's why it's important for you to have the mobile app. And it does work. I promise you it does work. As well as just make sure, and that will help having a smart plan set up as with those ads. That way, if they fill it out at 2 o'clock in the morning, it will start responding to them right then and there. Or if they fill it out at 6 p.m. when you're out at dinner with friends or family, it'll respond to them right then and there. So choose the one that makes the most sense for you. They have a ton of Facebook follow-up ones. And you can also tweak these and use them to your liking. So you don't have to follow exactly what they say if you want to tweak them. So find your neighborhood, do your research on your neighborhood, then come into Command, set up who you know, and that could be a good fit for that neighborhood on a monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan with that information constantly feeding them to them. Then go into campaigns and start doing your direct mail postcards to them, start doing your Facebook ads to them, set them up on monthly neighborhood nurtures and different smart plans as you get their information, and just be consistent. Like I said, a lot of the Facebook ads and leads that you're going to get, they're going to be cold leads. But as you go and do your pop buys, give them little gifts, give them information, you're going to start generating new contacts and clients out of this. So I hope this was helpful. Does anybody have any questions? You're all on mute if you do have questions. No.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, do you think the neighborhood nurture is the best one to start with, assuming you have clients, past clients in your database or in your sphere?
Yes, if you have an address for any contact, it is the easiest. You just add it, put them on there, and that's all you have to do. It sends it for you, and it repeats every 30 days for the rest of our lives until they tell you to stop. So that's the easiest set and forget one that you can use.
Do you have to send the link to them, or does it just do it?
Nope. So all you do is add them to the smart plan, and then
Okay.
every month they get an email like this with their neighborhood on it. And then if they click the explore neighborhood, it will show them if they have multiple neighborhoods attached to their name.
Right.
It'll show them all of them. But this happens every month. You literally only add them to the smart plan. That is it. You don't have to do anything outside of that.
If they go back and click on the link, like let's say in week 2, after they received it first, will it update with new information?
Yes, yeah. Every
Okay.
time it goes out, it'll have new information.
No, I mean before they click on it. Like,
Yeah, it should be real-time information.
okay.
Yeah.
And the first smart plan one they get, does it explain what this is? Or do you send, or can you tailor the email to do that the first one?
There is an intro. So the monthly neighborhood nurture does not have an intro,
Okay.
but there are some intros in here that you can use.
Oh, I see it right there.
I
Yeah.
would recommend doing that just so one is just it's a touch. And
Right,
then 2, it sets the expectation of what's coming to them. And that way they understand why they're getting it. They may be less likely to unsubscribe, stuff like that. I don't find that a ton of people unsubscribe. We usually just delete it. Let's be real. But don't feel like you're reaching out too much to people. I mean, they'll tell you if it's that bad. But if anything, everyone should have everybody on a monthly neighborhood nurture. Every single person in your database, if you have an address for them, that is the easiest touch that you can give to somebody with the least effort possible. So if all else fails, just put your entire database on there. And it will tell you if you don't have an address, I believe, for that person. So it just won't send them anything if you don't have an address, or if there's no information for that neighborhood, it won't send them anything. So you don't have to worry about them sending blank things.
thank you.
Absolutely.
So do you go into command and you first go under smart plans and you create it, and then it gives you the option of adding a contact to it? Or do you go under the contact and do it that way?
So you need to add the smart plan into here, I'll do it here. So we'll do the biweekly just for now. So you do have the option of biweekly or monthly, same exact thing. It's just going to go to them twice a week or once a month. Or I'm sorry, twice a month, not twice a week, twice a month or once a month. So I've added it to my plans, and you can't edit these. These are the ones made by Keller Williams. You can't edit. So you can either add the contacts here, or you can, if you're in the contact card, same thing. And you can do this in the app too. As long as the smart plan's already added to your smart plans library and good to go, you can go into their contact card and add them from the smart plans tab of there. You can just hit select and then it'll prompt you to submit. So you can add them either way. You can do that in your phone, in the app as well, as long as the smart plan's set up, you can add them either from your database or from smart plans. You can add them from your command app as well to any smart plan.
Okay.
Any other questions? Just trying to relog me in.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, well, I hope this is helpful. I will put this up on both Market Center recording YouTube channels. So if you want to come back and reference it, it'll be up there tonight.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.